What happens to us after we die? It's one of the most profound questions that has puzzled humanity for centuries. Is consciousness something that simply fades away? Or does it transcend the physical world? In this video, we'll explore various theories about the nature of consciousness, from neuroscience to philosophy and theology, to try to answer the age-old question, what happens to our consciousness after death? Neuroscientists believe that consciousness is deeply tied to the brain. But what happens when the brain ceases to function?
Consciousness, as we understand it, is a product of neural activity in the brain. When we die, the body ceases its biological functions and the brain stops working. At that point, it seems that consciousness dissipates. There's no evidence to suggest that our conscious experience continues after brain death. However, there are reports of near-death experiences, or NDEs, where people report vivid, often life-changing experiences. While these experiences could be explained by oxygen deprivation or other physiological processes, they remain a topic of interest and research.
Despite the overwhelming evidence from neuroscience that suggests consciousness ceases with brain death, the phenomenon of near-death experiences leaves many wondering whether something more is at play. But what if consciousness isn't just a byproduct of the brain? Philosophers have long debated whether consciousness is separate from the physical body. Could there be a deeper, non-material aspect to our awareness that persists after death?
One theory that has gained attention in recent years is panpsychism, the idea that consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe, much like gravity or electromagnetism. If this is true, it could mean that consciousness exists independently of our physical bodies and might continue in some form after death. Additionally, some philosophers argue for the concept of the soul, an immaterial essence that persists after the body's death. If the soul carries our consciousness, then it could live on in another form, perhaps in an afterlife or as part of a larger cosmic consciousness.
Religious traditions across the world offer varying views of what happens after death. In Christianity, for example, consciousness is often seen as an eternal soul that either ascends to heaven or descends to hell. From a Christian perspective, life after death is seen as a continuation of existence. The soul remains conscious, facing judgment and moving to an afterlife, either in eternal peace or in suffering. This view of the afterlife is rooted in centuries of religious belief, scripture, and tradition. But other religions, such as Hinduism and Buddhism, hold a different view. In Hinduism, the soul is believed to be reborn in a cycle of reincarnation, continuing until it reaches spiritual enlightenment and liberation. Buddhism shares this belief in reincarnation but adds the concept of achieving nirvana, a state of enlightenment and freedom from suffering. While science tends to view consciousness as a product of the brain, both philosophy and theology suggest that there could be more to the story. Could science, philosophy, and religion one day converge to provide a clearer understanding of consciousness after death?
I think it's crucial to acknowledge the limitations of our current understanding. We know that the brain is essential for consciousness, but there's still so much we don't know about the nature of consciousness itself.
And from a philosophical standpoint, the question of consciousness goes beyond just the brain. It asks us to reflect on the nature of existence itself, what it means to be aware, and whether that awareness can transcend our physical bodies.
In many religious traditions, there's an understanding that consciousness is part of a divine plan. The idea of an afterlife is not just about survival, but about the spiritual journey of the soul. Whether it's through reincarnation, heaven, or spiritual enlightenment, these traditions offer a sense of purpose beyond our physical death. While science, philosophy, and theology provide different lenses through which we can explore the nature of consciousness, one thing is certain: our quest to understand what happens after death is far from over. The mystery remains, and perhaps that's the way it's meant to be. No matter where you stand on the issue, The question of consciousness after death invites us all to reflect on the nature of life, existence, and the ultimate journey we all must face. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this exploration of consciousness and the afterlife, please give this video a like and subscribe for more fascinating discussions. Let us know your thoughts on this topic in the comments below. Do you believe consciousness lives on after death?